saying that first on behalf of everyone else in here. What do you think of Sedona?
It's gorgeous. I have been looking forward to coming to Sedona ever since I did Barnaby Jones with Buddy Evans. He used to come here quite often, and he painted the area. And then he showed me sketches. And I said, someday I'll go there and really see it in person. And he said, you won't be surprised. They were beautiful. And as I came in from the airport, I was taking pictures on my cell phone. It was great.
Well, we hope to exceed your expectations.
Oh, thank you. Well, so far so good.
Steve?
Oh, go ahead. Oh, welcome, and thank you for your time. We know you've got a very busy schedule. In Remember to Breathe, you play Alice Martin, and I'm wondering if you, as a woman with a fabulous, extensive career as a performer, how you related to that character.
I think anyone who struggles to be a performer, however high you raise the rank, I mean, you rise in the ranks, I think the struggle is the same, no matter whether you're a chanteuse, as she calls herself, or an actress. The struggle is pretty much the same. It was, I found her delightful to play. She had many layers that hopefully you'll see on the screen. She's it's a wonderful character. I really enjoyed playing her. And I must say that Mark Saltarelli, who is the director, and I think he has had a great deal to do with the writing of the piece. It was, I think, his first time out. I'm not sure about that, and I probably should have asked, but he was wonderful. He was a wonderful director. Very kind, very solicitous of my feelings about what I wanted to do. And I kept saying, no, this is you. You tell me. And I said, if you see something that you don't think is what you had in mind, tell me. Don't be afraid to tell me. As I know new filmmakers, and I've worked with a few of them, they are concerned that someone who's been in the business will have their own ideas, and that's what you have to stick to. So, and I told him that's not my persona. So, and I think he appreciated that, and he didn't have to worry. I think I just worked with Michael Landon Jr. in the film. That's why I was so late coming to the festival. Not because of Michael Landon, just the shooting schedule and rain and sleet and all of that came into play. But he had the same qualities, a gentleman foremost, which is just heaven for any actress, or at least for me anyway. It's so important. They care about you. They also care about their property or their, what they're doing. And but there's no anger on the set. There's no flippancy. I just, that's yeah. I don't want to hear that. None of that. Which I've run into a couple of times. Some very professional directors and a few writers that over the years you run into them and you say, oh dear. You sort of are on your own and you can kind of do your best and get through it. But as these two, it was like, this matched personas on either side of the film festival here. And as a matter of fact, I think, if I'm not wrong, the film that I was doing is a prequel, really, to a film that was here at the Sedona Film Festival, and that is The Ultimate Gift, was here, I think, probably 5, 6 years ago. And now we were filming The Ultimate Life, which is a prequel to that. So look for it in a couple of years, or maybe even a year.
Felix, did you have a question?
Oh yeah, thank you for coming. And are you excited that Prospect Park bought All My Children? Are you excited for, will it bring new life to the soap opera industry?
You know that I just heard, I mean, literally yesterday, I thought I'd best get caught up on my my emails. And so wait a minute, what? And so my oldest daughter, Kyle, is very proficient at the, all the Twitter and all of that. And she said, I've got it, Mom. Yes, I've got it. And I'll send it all to you. And because I had seen it on a blurb, not my email at all. And so I don't know whether they want me or not. So I have to just, wait and see, or maybe I'll just put out a feeler or two and see what happens. But I'd love it. I'd love to see what they're doing. I don't know how that's done on the internet with soap operas. I know how it's done with webisodes. I've done a few webisodes. So I'm assuming it's pretty much the same thing. So it'd be fun to try.
You could use your time wisely here in Sedona. Use the energy to manifest what it is that you'd like to do in the upcoming series. That's the magic of Sedona.
Yes. Oh, now where do I go to do this?
Right here.
Right here. I just sort of
Just
gather it in.
Yeah.
Okay.
You don't even have to chant.
Just gathering in all the energies. Thank you.
Hi, my name's Scarlett, and I'm doing a documentary about what American people know about Canada. It's going a little slowly, but I know you probably worked with some Canadian actors in your time. Or maybe they weren't admitted to it.
You can still consider Bill Shatner a Canadian.
Well, I don't know. We're getting ready to give him the boot.
I know, it's funny.
He's funny, yeah.
My husband and I go up to Stratford every year.
Oh, you do?
And we stay a week and we see 14 plays in 7 days. Hello.
That's where Justin Bieber's from.
Heaven. Yes?
Yes, he's from Stratford.
And I do know who he is.
There you go. Well, I'm glad. Well, thank you. Yeah, we have a few in Hollywood, and it's nice, and I hear they behave themselves quite well.
Christopher Plummer has
Oh, well, we'll take that back.
No, we've been fortunate to stay in the same bed and breakfast that he usually habitats when he stays up there and does a show. And he's done so many there.
Yeah, he's wonderful.
And he's such a gentleman, so easy to talk to, easy to meet, just to have breakfast with, because David Lester at the Three Houses has a wonderful breakfast every morning for his guests in his three houses. And that's when my husband and I met Christopher.
I'm glad you enjoy it up in Ontario. It's a beautiful country.
It is beautiful country.
Thank you.
I'm fortunate to live there.
Thank you.
I hope to do my one-woman show up there.
We'll be watching for you.
Oh, I keep my fingers crossed.
Okay.
I've sent the material to Tony Anthony. Hopefully he'll consider it. I do 23 women in an hour.
Wow.
From Spoon River Anthology.
Looking forward to that. Thank you.
Betsy, did you have a question?
Oh, well, let me think. I'm from upstairs in Flagstaff. I don't know if you're familiar with Flagstaff.
As a child.
Really?
Were
Were you one of the people zipping through on the train and stopping for something to eat?
No. I just remember going through Flagstaff any number of times when we went on trips. My family moved from Los Angeles when I was 3, when my brother had just been born, and we moved to Phoenix, Arizona. We lived there until I hit the 5th grade, and we moved to San Francisco.
before they picked Hollywood, you know, they considered Flagstaff as a Hollywood, you know, before Hollywood even existed.
Oh,
Before
I,
it was a
because
movie
of
town.
the,
But they
yes,
thought, this is too cold.
but the cowboy heaven.
Yeah, cowboy
is-
heaven,
is
yeah.
Flagstaff, yes, no.
Anyway, I'm a feature writer and photographer for our 3 publications.
Uh-huh.
We're quite a movie town, a cinema town as well.
I know my oldest daughter, when she flirted with the idea for a while of becoming a makeup artist, came here and did a makeup on a show. And I know that Alda, yes, Alan Alda's daughter was in the piece, and Kyle got to make her up. But she said, "Oh yes, Mom, wait till you see. You will not believe the colors. It's just fantastic." And she went on and on.
Well, you have to come visit here.
Oh, yes, I want to
Summer's
come
the
back to
best.
when I don't
Summer's
have to
good.
leave tonight.
Yeah.
It's like, oh,
Did you have any observations about the film community, the larger film community of Northern Arizona? There are many people here that are not necessarily in
I
Sedona.
am sure that there has to be. I mean, you can't have this kind of glorious nature about you and not be a part of a film industry. It's like, oh my goodness, it's ready-made, God-made. I mean,
Yeah.
it's just heaven. So I would think that there would be a rather extensive
And
film
there's so many young
industry.
people coming up too,
Yeah.
with interns here.
That's good. Great.
Alan?
Hi.
Well, hi.
With all the projects that you've done, what is your favorite one and why?
Oh, that's hard. That's so hard. I've been so
You can
lucky.
give me a top 3.
Okay, top 3. Top 3, Barnaby Jones. I 8 years with Buddy Ebsen. Sheer heaven. Sheer heaven. Angel in My Pocket with Andy Griffith. And the series To Boot with him. Another, again, I guess it's the Southern man that just does it for me. But he just, these two are just heaven. And of course, I have to say them. The Batman movie was quite exciting because I got to work with Cesar Romero, Burgess Meredith, Frank Ocean, and Adam West, and Burt Ward, all at once, and that was.
That's why she wore her shirt.
That's
for
why I
it.
won.
Oh, there you go. Yes.
Steve?
Can you tell us a little bit more about your one-woman play? I'm fascinated by 22 characters
23 actually,
in 1 hour.
in 1
How
hour.
do you do that?
Just to go from character to character. I walk a little bit. It's set up in a graveyard, and it can be as extensive as chairs representing gravestones, or I've done it with absolutely nothing except maybe a stool and two. And I took it to, I just took a flyer and entered it in the Fringe Festival in New York, and I was accepted, and I was one of 5. There were only 5 one-person shows, and I won Best Performer for one-person show.
Congratulations.
And that was really nice.
So are these alter egos? I'm sorry.
No. These are all women written by Edgar Lee Masters back in the early 1900s. Early 1900s wrote a series of epitaph poems weekly in the weekly newspaper. And years later, they compiled them into an incredible compendium of those plus a play that he had written in something else, and I can't remember what that's called. But what was fascinating were these very few women that he wrote about. He wrote primarily these were men's epitaphs. But the women fascinated me. I had been the original understudy for Charles Aiden's production, his adaptation of Spoonbook Anthology. I understudied Betty Garrett, Joyce Van Patten, and Naomi Carroll Cushman. And luckily I never had to go on for Naomi because she was the singer, but I did get to go on for both Betty and Joyce. And I loved working on those women, and at a time at our theater, Theater West is an actors workshop I belong to. We do theater all the time. As a matter of fact, I'm opening Saturday night in a musical. It's a quasi-staged presentation with book in hand for Panama Hattie, which is Cole Porter's 1940 hit. So we do all sorts of things at Theater West, and that Spoon River Anthology was a big hit, and went to Broadway, accolades galore and all. I couldn't go to Broadway. I was pregnant with my second daughter, and so I, at their 30th anniversary of the show, Chuck Aidman asked me, he said, would you be my understudy again? And I said, well, Naomi doesn't want to do the show. Couldn't I be the musician, singer? And he said, I really need you as the... He really needed me as the understudy for all three women. So I did, and I did get to go on for Tracy for a week. And then when Betty decided to direct, because Chuck had passed away, the 40th anniversary of that show, I had to audition for her, for her part.
Oh.
But she gave me an incredible compliment, because I did one of the characters the way I had always sort of seen it or heard it in my ear, completely different than she did.
With the technical voice of a little girl. I'm talking this and so.
And and there's a certain part of it that can be read any number of different ways. And so I read it the way I thought it would, and she laughed hysterically, and she said, oh, I wish I had thought of that. So that was a big compliment from her. And then I did get the part, and so did the 40th anniversary show at Theater West. And so it just I started doing other characters, working on them, just for fun. And then they came to me and said, well, we need about 20 minutes to fill this Theater West program. Could you do the women, maybe just a couple or whatever? And I said, well, how about if I do 3 by 3? 3 women, 3 different ways. And then the next year they said, could you do a little bit more? And I said, okay, 4 women, 4 different ways. Yeah, but don't do the same ones. I said, I won't. So those characterizations built over a period of years, and then I thought, I could do this as a one-woman show if I just put them all together, and that's what happened. And I had worked with Jim Hesselman, wonderful actor, singer, everything, writer, and we had done he called himself the nanny of the stars. He had to shepherd Kay Ballard, Mimi Hines, Georgia Engel, Darlene Love, and me around for 6 months on a tour of nonsense. And he had to wear a monk's costume backstage. But he did it. And he drove us to and from the hotels and what have you that we had to do. And he said, because I had told him about the idea and everything, he said, come to the university, because he's a teacher at the University of Indiana Southeast, and he said, I'll direct it. And he did, and it's grown from there.
It's been a great life.
Oh, I'm lucky, very lucky.
While we're extending invitations, I just wanted to let you know that if you are heading to the far north, we would love to come see you. We would love for you to come see us in Alaska, which is where I hail from. I'm here this week as a temporary transplant, working with Miss Miranda. I saw recently that you tweeted that you were delighted to know that Monopoly had chosen the cat as its new icon. And
I thought, well, it's high time. You know, really. High time, don't you think?
Absolutely. So I'm wondering, again, working with the superhero aficionado here, how do you relate to that role as a superhero, or do you?
a super villain playing. I just, yeah. I know that it's looked upon sometimes as a hero kind of thing, but she really was, a vixen and a mean piece of work. But I tried to, I don't know, not soften her, but I did have fun playing her, and hopefully that all came through as not vicious, not cruel, not evil. None of them were. I mean, Burgess, Caesar, Frank, none of them were evil. Except Frank occasionally was. I mean, and Caesar with his laugh, but even his laugh was a joker's laugh. It was totally different than, God rest him, our boy. So he was, he was a comic book character. We were all comic book characters, and that's supposed to elicit laughter. So that's primarily what we were working for anyway.
I have a question about your outfits. You've worn so many different outfits, and when you look fabulous in that cat costume, did you eat at all that day, or for the how many months you filmed? Did you eat anything?
Oh yes, I was. That's the luck of the Irish. I swear. My mother's maiden name was Mulligan, so there's a lot of Irish there. But I had my littlest was 3 years old. And I had, for a year, finally gotten back into Betty Garrett's dance class. Thank heavens, because I was in the best shape I'd ever been.
Yeah.
Good, I swear. I mean, even, Miss America days or anything, the best shape I was in when they called and said, they're going to cast a captain. Wait a minute, that's already been cast. Thought my agent had goofed yet again. And, stories I could tell. And he said, no, this is for a film. I said, oh, why don't they use Julie? I mean, she had, there was a lot of publicity about Julie Newmar doing this series, but she hadn't been on the air yet. And I said, okay. Well, I walked in, there's 100 women there, at least. All gorgeous, all buxom, all just, dolled up and everything. I thought, this is ridiculous. And I said, okay, the only way that I would be even just have an edge would be that they're not expecting anything from me, like a joke. So I walked in with a very high voice. I said, hello, and then talked to them. And then when I read, because I knew I had to read, they had given us all pages to read, then I lowered my voice down and became very sultry and very, and I curled up in the chair and I began to lick my and then I kneaded my like that, all sorts of things. I thought, well, at least maybe they'll remember me if they're ever casting anything else. I never really dreamed that I would, even come close. Son of a gun. The next afternoon, I was called and to come into wardrobe.
Uh-oh. You don't get these.
And then into makeup and then filming the next day.
Wow.
It's like they were giving a script of the scene that they were filming the next day. They were way up against it. I don't know. They had started filming somehow. I don't know what happened. Never did find out. I've been afraid to ask Julie. We've sat next to each other at conventions a couple times, signing autographs, and I never. It might be a painful subject, so I never touched on it.
Felix? I liked your role as Eva in Metal Gear Solid 4. Will you reprise that role later on? As in other games?
Play those games?
Yeah.
So do I.
Oh, well, I had no idea. I mean, when I read for it, and then I got it, and I said, well, is there anything in particular that you want? And Chris Zimmerman, who was the casting lady, talked in the booth, I never heard what they said. And she said, just give us more of what you're doing. Okay. Do you want lower voice? Do you want harsh? Do you want softer voice? Wow. And she said, okay, do what you're doing, and then just give it a little more voice and see if that's. And she looked at the people, and they did this. I don't know. So I did this character. And then in the middle, because it became more erratic and more dynamic, and she was killing or shooting people and all, I couldn't make out some of it, and I went and did this kind of a voice, and she said, through the glass, like this. So I ended up doing that. Then they came back and said, no, we want to just cut back just a little bit. So I have yet to get to that point in the game that I can find myself. So I've never seen myself moving around or anything. They did at one time say, listen, I'll take a video on my phone and send it to you. Well, it was all it was hard for me to see, so I really haven't seen myself. But when they sent me the picture of what I looked like, I nearly died. For those of you who haven't seen it, the outfit is cut this way. Hello. Oh my. Oh dear. That's it's not me. That's for sure.
Okay, one more question. Anybody?
I have a question. Are you looking forward to any projects that you want to do aside from your one-woman show? Is there anything that you want to do, like a remake of anything? No, it's always what's over the next hill, what's coming. I don't have any preconceived notions. You're living life right now. Yes, yes, because disappointment is something that I try and stay far, far away. And if I had something, I want to do this and this, and that was the thing with the Catwoman thing. It was like, I'll just do this, and then if I blow it, then because I did that, and so it's okay. They can, So I stay away from disappointments. That if I had something I really wanted to do, I just say a quiet prayer. And that's it.
Thank you very much.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
Thank you.
The question about needing to take some photos, would you willing to take some photos? We'll move